Hello folks, I decided I would start the Skyrim LP a bit early, as I've become a bit burned out on Pokemon, so one game from the Pokemon franchise will be fine enough for me, which is going to be Zeta since that's so far along. Anyway, this is going to be episode 0, going over the mods I have installed, and yeah, I have actually had to disable a few in this massive list, because yeah, like a few of these that I've got disabled. One of them was making my game crash really often, so I disabled it, because I can't have it crashing while I'm recording. Anyway, let's go through the files, huh? Dragonborn, Hearthfires, Dawnguard, they are all base game. Dynamic Loot, now that is from the Nexus Mod Manager. I do have Nexus mods installed as well, so whenever you see it's not got the subscribe thing, yeah, that means it's Nexus. You'll find it there. If it has got the subscribed, it's part of the Steam Workshop. That is for anyone that's not ever played around with Skyrim mods. I think that's fair enough. Yeah, dynamic loot. I'll go more into that when we get into the game itself, when I'm showing off the stuff in the mod config menu. Stones of Bernesia quest markers. All the like 20 stones of that stone thing, they'll appear as quest markers once I have picked one up. It's a very handy one, because admittedly I've never got them all, so yeah. Better archers, loot, and more bows. So basically this means on bandits and well, I think it's on bandits as well. On bandits and in chests, there's a better chance that I'll find a bow, because otherwise you wouldn't find too many bows. And also there's arrows that'll be able to be looted as well, more of them. Better magic. Now this tweaks the magic trees. I can show that more when we get in game as well. I'll just load up a character and kind of show you the trees. Better pickaxe. This was to make it so that the pickaxe didn't have a weight, because that thing was pretty heavy. As a side effect, it does make it so the pickaxe is very powerful, like a Daedric sword or something in power, maybe more, but I won't be using it as a weapon. Conjuration pack, spectral summons. I love my conjuration. And this adds a whole bunch of new summons into the game, one of which is a pretty useful one. A vampire thrall. Their gear scales with where you are in the game, so even the basic one could still do a lot of damage. Or you could have a Dwemer spider helping you, or a Draugr. It's all up to you. Craftable uniques and Daedric stuff. I installed that for another playthrough, but I don't think I'll be really doing that. I'll be making my own weapons, so I'll disable that. Crossbow bandits. With the Dawnguard DLC, crossbows were added. This makes it so that bandits have a chance of actually having a crossbow. As of yet, I've only ever seen like 1 or 2, maybe 3 bandits that have a crossbow. If you get one early on, you're set for stealth kills. Though it does mean that you're a bit less maneuverable once you've fired, so yeah. Mountain Retreat. It's a house that's up in the mountains, actually where you face the Ebony Warrior. So that's kind of funny. But it's a good location, yeah. It does come with a few OP stuff, so I probably won't go there till later in the game. I am recycling, as it says. You pick up something, you don't have to sell it, you can smelt it down for a bit of extra ingots or whatever. Kill anyone anytime. Now I did say in my 30-minute rant thing that about freedom, that you couldn't kill essential NPCs. This mod makes it so I can. It doesn't do the same as in New Vegas, where it will fail the quest automatically, but Yeah, it's still the same. Lightweight potions and poisons. Think of how many potions and poisons you pick up through the game. Yeah. This makes it so like 0.1 weight or whatever. So obviously with the amount of potions you pick up it'll still balance out, but yeah. I've got a bit of a blocked nose right now, so yeah. Lockpick Pro. This one's a bit more controversial. I hate the lockpicking in Skyrim, though I love it in New Vegas. The reason why I love it in New Vegas is your thing is at full strength after you when you start a lock. So I do one lock, I almost break the bobby pin, come out of it. It's fully restored. This, in Skyrim, the durability carries over, and I kind of hate lockpicking in Skyrim, so I got this so I didn't have to, I've also done something else in a later mod that will also make it a lot easier as well. Midas magic. More magic, but I haven't really noticed any of them around, so we'll be playing with them at one point. More summonables. Yeah, I like my summons. More loot from chests. More specifically, boss chests. So, yeah, the name says it all. Level uncapper. As you can see, you can reach level 252. This one is the better one of the ones I've saw, because other ones would either make it so your stat, you just gain a level when one stat goes up. It's just absurd. And another one added in a perk which allowed you to level up your perks up to like 15 times faster, which gave you a lot of levels, so yeah. And then we have no weight for food, books, ingots, ingredients, ores, and uniques. Just because I hate having to manage my weight. I'm a hoarder character. So, yeah. And in any case, weapons are actually like the heaviest thing. All these, with the amount of them that you pick up, just makes it, yeah. Reduced distance for NPC greetings. You can also mod that in a later mod as well, which is actually peeking its head. Sky UI, that's essentially necessary. Original Iron Dagger farming, I'm actually going to turn that off for this playthrough. So yeah. The Rift, it's another kind of house thing, though more for a mage. The other one's more for if you're using equipment. The Rift is more for a mage. The way you get the spell to transport here, if you go to Bleak Falls Barrow for the golden dragon claw thing, there's a new enemy there, pretty powerful, that holds a spell on him. And it doesn't give you too many OP things. In fact, I don't think it gives you anything that's OP actually. Maybe just a few little gems that you can sell, but that's about it. Other than that, the game, it's really well balanced. Uniques, it adds a unique model to the uniques. So, Winter Mist. I love enchanting as well. And with this one, there is a couple enchantments I've found that are a bit powerful. I discovered one of them last night, actually, when I was playing this, talking with a friend. But we'll get into that as well. This, that's necessary for Sky Tweak, if you want to carry over your saved options to the new game. Run for your lives, so that essential NPCs, or not so essential now, when a dragon attacks or something like that, they actually run and want to keep themselves alive. That's pretty much necessary with the kill anyone anytime, so yeah. Immersive weapons and also immersive armors. More weapons, more armor, more variety. I love that. OBIS, Organized Bandits in Skyrim and Dragonborn Edition, makes it so that there's more different types of bandits. So you can find a bandit Sickly who has the sick ability of those dudes in that one quest line. Or you can find a bandit trained spider working a forge. Funnily enough, I saw that last night. So, yeah. It has some pretty wacky results. It's pretty nice. The last three dynamic loot, we'll be going into that. That's Dragonborn and Dawnguard edition, so yeah. Imperious, Races of Skyrim. This adjusts racial bonuses. So, yeah. And Skyrim Unbound. This will allow us a lot more variety when starting. So, yeah. And I must say, Imperious, Races of Skyrim, the two most notable races that I've seen are the Khaji and the Bosmer, the Wood Elf. So, yeah, I'm just going to say right now, we'll be playing as a Khaji. Because I like playing an assassin kind of character. And the Khaji kind of lends itself to an assassin with this mod. Better sneaking, things like that. But yeah, there's a few other mods here that I've disabled. Like effective poisons, adds a few more doses of poison to your weapon. I can make that in Skytweak. And a lot of these ones I disabled because I was thinking, what one is actually crashing me? Like bandit raids. Basically it made it so that the 5 major towns in the game, bandits would actually try and raid it. But I think that might have been the one that was crashing it, but I'm not willing to check it out, so yeah. More than one ring on a finger. There's actually a really broken glitch with it. So yeah, I've disabled it. Because it's easy to accidentally do, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into the game and go over some of the mods. Now, one thing I should say right now, we go to the new game menu, or, well, we just go to the new game option rather, when it decides to load up. The one thing about Skyrim Unbound is you can only go into the new game menu, or you can only click on the new game option once. If you then quit to the title and click it again, it frequently crashes the game, so it's a bit dodgy. With Skyrim Unbound, it completely skips out in the beginning of the game. Going to Bleak Falls Barrow, going to Whiterun to kill the dragon. It skips on that. As you can see, Helgen is already destroyed. Skyrim Unbound. Open the mod config menu to begin your adventure. Sky UI adds in this. Now, one thing I'm gonna do is Winter Mist enchants. If I want to be broken, I have the option. Basically, Winter Mist, what it does is things like reduced MP cost, it caps them out internally. 75% on 4 or 5 enchantments that reduce magic costs. So yeah, if I want to go for broke, I have that option. Next thing I'm going to config, dynamic loot. I'm going to add a 5% chance of any of these loot drops being a tampered weapon or armor, and 5% extra gold. What dynamic loot does is, on bandits and similar things, not animals, it basically makes it so that they can have a chance of dropping a rare armor or weapon that has very special enchantments on it, usually with 2 or 3 of them, but you cannot disenchant them. You can only sell them if you don't want them. I'm also going to disallow high tier items, so when I'm below level 40, glass, daedric, dragon plate, dragon scale will not appear until I'm level 40 and above. For that, you know, for this. So yeah. Drop rates. It also allows books, soul gems, or alchemy, potions and poisons, and miscellaneous stuff to appear on what I desire. As for humans, I like to think they could pretty well have anything on them. For automatrons, which is the Dwemer stuff, gold, soul gems, and ore. Because you do find ore on some of them in the vanilla game, they do drop soul gems, and well, who's to say they won't have gold on them? For animals and monsters, I like to make it alchemy ingredients. But that's just me. So yeah. Let's exit from here. Immersive armors, are you still configuring? Yes, you are, so we'll come back to you then. Right. This is basically the racial thing. So yeah. Dark Elf has a ability called Spirit Walk. So yeah. There's all these different things. I haven't really went over all of them, or, you know, played with all of them, so yeah. Let's see. I suppose we should get to the biggest one then. Sky Tweak. Now I'm gonna load up my old save file so that, not save file, but you know. This basically means that all the options that I saved to the fist thing, well, you know, like for instance base rune cap, that was not at 3. As you can see, scanner, vanilla, 1. The vanilla 1 bit means that in vanilla it was set to 1. So yeah. I think that's the only thing I changed here. Combat. Let's... Yeah, I usually stay on novice, but I changed the damage things here. So yeah, we'll take 75. So yeah, it's just... You know, I can change it here. I don't have to change the difficulty myself. I change... You know, I could even set up to 10 times damage. And trust me, 10 times damage dealt and taken is... Well, you thought legendary was hard? Try not getting hit at all. So yeah. Is there anything else here that is notable? No, not really. I never really played with all this. So yeah. Stealth. The only thing I change here is the lockpick sweet the lockpick sweet spot. You'll see that when we pick a lock with Lockpick Pro. Everything else I have left unchanged, apart from pickpocket chance, I think. Yeah, 90% was the maximum chance in vanilla. I buffed up to 95%. You know, like Fallout, so yeah. I don't think I changed anything else though. Crafting. Bonus ingredients, I will get 1 extra ingredient when I harvest something. And again, I don't think I changed anything else here. Yeah, I don't think I changed anything else. Vendors, again, I don't think I changed. So yeah. If you want to have a look at my settings, you know, you can just pause the video and have a look. So yeah. Tributes. When we start the game, we can actually change these and it will change our actual stats. So if I wanted to have no magicka, I can set this down to 0. Actually no, that's magicka regen, so it'd be something like this, wouldn't it? yeah, it'd be these three down here. I can change this down to 0. And I'd have no magicka. But that's not a wise idea because it's something I'm going to do in a bit. Base carry weight, you know, that'll also change back to 300 when we start the game, so does not matter. Frost resist, the game counts this as a Nord right now, so frost resist is set there, it will change. Things here, I don't think I changed anything. Yeah, I don't think I changed anything. And that one. Yeah, if you accidentally hit an ally in combat, you can change it here so that basically it won't turn on you. But well, that's part of the risk reward thing of using AoE spells and whatnot, so I'm gonna keep that as is. How long will it take for NPCs to respawn? Measured in-game hours. Keeping it at this. Now, experience. This menu was a whole lot more user-friendly. If you didn't, use mods or didn't want to use math, yeah, it would set it to a percentage thing, so I could gain like 10% experience instead of the 100% I would normally get in vanilla. And yeah, that made for some interesting playthroughs. Like, I can go several dungeons and only level up 4 times. It was a wee bit more realistic. But now they changed the person that made the mod changed it to this horrible system here, where you've actually got to use math to figure out the rate of experience and everything. And this is all vanilla, I do believe. Alteration 3. Just checking to make sure everything is the vanilla setting. Yep, it is. Everything is vanilla setting, so that's alright. Attribute per level, that's health and stamina. I'm going to put that back down to 10. So yeah. Physics, this is basically when you kill someone, how far their body will fly or something like that. Did I change this as well? Yeah, I did change that, so yeah, I did change these a little bit. You can see for this, ranged, minimum 10, maximum 30. So yeah, I did change that. These are some more funny ragdolls. This has got a lot of options here, so let's just have a look. Havoc Kit basically makes NPC body parts recoil with physics once you hit them. Doesn't impact gameplay though, so yeah, that's nice. You can make it so it hides the tutorials, which is awesome. Open book, yeah, book open time. I found setting that to 0 glitches it so the book doesn't even open. So, and the same for notes. So I'm changing that back. You can make it so NPCs use ammo. Have you ever hated how, Snake from Metal Gear Solid 2? Infinite ammo, because he's an NPC. Yeah, you can make them not have infinite ammo, which is nice. Yeah. Disables the kill cam camera without disabling kill moves, that's nice. Run Skyrim in background, so if I was to tab out, it would still run. Almost done with this menu thing. Scripts. Timed block. So basically, if you time your shield block right, you can completely negate all physical damage for that one hit. And you will gain experience for it. Well, bonus experience, which is nice. It's like lightning returns then, where if you block at the right time, you gain massive damage resistance. And it rewards you for it, so it's nice. Item limiter, basically it limits lockpick, arrow, potion and poisons that you can carry. Player stagger. Yeah, each time he is hit. No. That is... I don't want to be staggering all over the place. But yeah, also yeah, timed block XP. So yeah. Armor weight factor. That's unchanged, so is this and this. NPC stagger. That's also the same, yeah, I've not changed that. Anyway, let's go down. Yeah, here's the thing. Bleed out. The player is now essential, and falls to his knees instead of dying, and gets back up with full health. The player loses some gold on each bleed out, and has limited lives that are restored by sleeping. It's interesting, but it could make the game easy. I suppose if you're trying to get away from a tough opponent, you won't have to load up. So yeah. Number of lives, 3. Yeah. The player gains light armor, heavy armor, and block experience just by being in combat. Experience is awarded at the end of combat. I don't want to do that. And options is basically this menu again, so... Anyway, by now, Immersive Armors should have finished configuring. I think I need to go out of the menu. There we go. Now we can take a look at Immersive Armors. I'm going to enable the distribution of every armor. I want to see the badass looking armors. Shield options, it's the same here. Extra options, I can make some things, you know, light armor or heavy armor. There was one that I saw that was weird. Is it here? It was witch plate, something or... It was a witch plate hood. And it being a hood, you'd expect it to be light. But, changes initial settings to be compatible with alternate start mods. Yeah, let's do that then. I should also note, once we get later on into the game, this armor here, the Vardenfall glass armor, we will be going to fetch this. And the Thalmor will hate us for it. Because they can spawn with it. Quite frequently as well. And there's 2 places I know they spawn. But anyway, that's it for this. Let's set up Skyrim Unbound, which will actually get us into the game. If that happens, just X out of the menu, go back in. That usually fixes it. Character name. Well, actually no, it's the kind of preset thing, but so. Oh, replace the default prisoner. Ah, you know, that's actually kind of cool. We'll put it assassin then. Just so when I load up this again, it'll all be set for an assassin character, so yeah. This is the presets. I like to start with the Atronach stone. And it also really helps for early on in the game. You'll see why. Spell selection, we'll get to that in a minute. Timed delay, yes. And okay, this happens. I think it's due to immersive armors, but yeah. Well, we're setting the shouts to non-Dragonborn, so we will not absorb them. However, we will automatically learn them from word walls, if we ever find one. So yeah, all our gear will be random except for the amount of wealth we have, which is nothing. Spell selection. I like to keep flames, healing, and fury for assassin characters. as well as bound sword for assassin characters. We can start in a specific hold if we wanted, or we can have it completely random. Or we can even start in jail if we so desired, or the wilderness. We can also set the game time, and I'm going to set it to dawn. You'll see why. We will start with the vampire disease, not the vampire from the Dawnguard DLC. The disease that was in vanilla. This is really interesting. It works well for an assassin character, but you gain a much greater weakness to fire and you do not regenerate health, stamina, or magicka in sunlight. So it's pretty powerful, but it kind of balances itself out. Dragons will be delayed for up to 2 days. After that, we will see them. And actually it also changes it to random spawn levels, and I don't completely know how this works, but yeah. After 2 days we should start seeing them. But yeah, that should be it. Also yeah, take off rags. And yeah, that's us set up. I suppose actually no, I'll save here and I'll end off this and we'll start in episode 1. So yeah, this has been Scottish Boy 112 signing out. Whoa 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 whoa. Before I forget, I need to show off some things as well. If we go to skills, if we take a look at the destruction thing, I was playing as a vampire here too, hence lowered stats. Yeah. The biggest thing is right here. Cast novice level spells for half magicka. Destruction that is. That was in vanilla, I believe. All destruction spells are 15% stronger. That is the better magic. It's the same for here. You gain resistance and damage. So yeah. And it's the same for all the level spells. So yeah. It changes them to be a bit more balanced. And as you can see, I was really working my way into sneak. So yeah. Then there's something else I should show. There's a few things, you know, this is like the summon thing. Dwemer Spider Guardian, I found that in a chest. Pretty happy with that. Embrace of Shadows. This is very late on in the vampire disease. Vampire is invisible and has improved night vision for 180 seconds. 3 minutes of invisibility. That lends itself pretty well to an assassin kind of character, but it's one time only for that day, just like most powers. Vampire Seduction. Creatures and people up to level 10 won't fight for 30 seconds. Me being level 34 in this data, kind of, no, it doesn't work anymore. Vampire's Servant. Reanimate a very powerful dead body to fight for you for 60 seconds. Pretty nice. Vampire Sight is essentially the Kaji night vision, which the Kaji does not have anymore. And Vampiric Drain. Absorb 5 points of health per second from the target. Not bad. If we head over here, Champion of the Night. Illusion spells cast by a vampire are 25% more powerful. Night Stalker's Footsteps. Vampires are 25% harder to detect when sneaking. This is what I mean by the vampire lending itself to an assassin role. So yeah, like you can see here right as well, Field Marshal Polished Steel Helmet, minus 15% restoration spell cost, and plus 15% bow damage. That's on the helmet that I picked up. from dynamic loot. And this is one of the Winter Mist enchantments. 5% chance per second to restore 47 points of stamina. There's one more. Well, there's a few more rather. This is the racial bonus kind of stuff right here. While sneaking, you move more quietly and you can perform a power jump that costs 60 points of stamina. It's like the shout that moves you forward a bit that you get in the main story, but it costs stamina instead. Rowlith Kaji. Claw power attacks deal extra damage equal to 25% of your current stamina. Requires 2 free claws. Let's see. Feline agility. Movement is 15% faster. Sprinting is 45% faster, but costs an extra 10 points of stamina per second. So it leads itself to being a very agile assassin, which is nice. I like that. There was a couple more down here. Resist poison. Your vampiric blood gives you 100% resistance to poison. Frost, 50% resistance to that for being a vampire, and 100% resistance to diseases. So yeah, pretty nice. And also, yeah, this is later on in the vampire disease as well. You gain more weakness to fire every day you're a vampire, which is, yeah. And this isn't as debilitating early on, but right now, 60 points of health, magic and stamina are gone while I'm in sunlight, and they do not recover either, so this was vanilla as well, so yeah. And I did kind of find this cool looking weapon. I had to buy it just because it's a scythe, for crying out loud. And I suppose I'll show you one of my favourite weapons. It's also got a really good enchantment on it that I made. Again, going into the Winter Mist enchantments. I named it, by the way, Phantasm. I actually named it after the Terraria bow Phantasm, which is one of the best bows, in fact one of the best weapons for DPS in Terraria. But yeah, this could go up to 26%, and I'm not as big an enchantment right now. 20% chance on striking to gain invisibility for 5 seconds, and I have tested. It works with arrows. So if I get lucky, I can gain invisibility and then easily hide before my attackers know where I am, which is really nice. And there's also one more thing I forgot to show in Sky Tweak. In the tweaks bit, the only thing I've changed is I've changed the poison doses to 50. So basically 50 doses per vial of poison. I mean, how much poison do you have in there? You can't take a whole bottle just to poison one arrow. So I kind of tried to balance it out. But yeah, it does make it pretty overpowered, but that is also in the actual data we're going to be doing. So yeah, this has been Scottish Boy 112, signing out.